Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. Today's show is brought to you by RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. HSV Inside Out is also brought to you by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson here, Hot Springs Village, Inside Out, from the shores of beautiful Lake de Soto, as we like to say. Man, it's such a busy time, and it's such an incredible time, really. I wanted to kind of brief you on some upcoming things that Randy and I have been talking about and some changes we think for the better that you're really going to like. I hope you like the new format. I hope you love the video. We spent 3 years roughly in Zoom, if you know what I mean. And by that, we simply went ahead and moved from Zoom because we knew we could reach anybody. And particularly during COVID, that was the way to do it. We didn't have a whole lot of other options, if you know what I mean. But now we're taking our little packs, and I'll show you some video of this later of our backpacks and stuff. But we're taking these a little bit of everywhere. I want you to experience the joy that we have here in Hot Springs Village. And Randy did a show just this last week about moving to the village, and you better buy some good shoes, some good walking shoes. And he is exactly correct, because you got to get out and experience it. It is just so beautiful this time of year. This is the day after the election. This is Wednesday. Oh my goodness. What a tumultuous time, and for everybody. I don't care what side you come down on. Dear Lord above, it's been a chaotic and busy time. I feel relieved. I'm glad that the election didn't have any strife or conflict. Anyway, I want to tell you and personally invite you to Hot Springs Village. You see, Randy and I have discussed in depth, there are two Hot Springs Village Inside Out customers of sorts. There are you, local, inside people, that you see it all the time. You see the Texas picnic. You see the Lake Washita State Park tours. You see the Bald Eagle tours. You see the donkey trails. You see the walking trails that Randy and Rhonda do. And you see the trips into Hot Springs. And by the way, one sad piece of news today marks a very sad event. If you go back and watch the show where Randy goes down Gazy-Po and drives out the back way to go into Hot Springs, there's a one-lane bridge, tree-covered, beautiful area. Yeah, they closed that today because they're tearing down that one-lane bridge. In another show that we did with the church camp just outside the gates, the church camp also runs a farm, and it's nearly impossible to get big tractors across that one-lane bridge. So in the words of the music of the song, the times they are a-changing, and we hope they're changing for the better. We hope you enjoy this new video format. Once again, there's basically two types of customers for you. There are the inside people that are interested in the regular shows. The fact that just down the way there's a grist mill and a post office underneath Lake Cortez. How about that? And then there are others who are saying, you know, why would I choose Hot Springs Village versus Bella Vista? Well, if you're in Hot Springs Village, why would you even be considering that, right? You see, we have those two different groups. One is specifically here. And those numbers, if you look at the show episodes or the number of hits, those will be hundreds. Those are good. We did a Zoom show with Mr. Rick Marshall, one of my friends, and it was 2.5 years ago or something like that, and the pros and cons of Hot Springs Village. Now, that's something I could talk on all day on Zoom or this camera or wherever. That show is our highest by far, our highest rated by far, at nearly 8,000 views, because we're talking to the laity. There are so many people that they want to know a little bit more about Hot Springs Village. They don't want to watch a 35-minute infomercial. They don't want to be sold, and we don't want to sell you. That's not our objective. But they want just straight answers to their questions, and we're going to give you that. In addition, for us inside people, we're going to focus more on restaurants. There's going to be a huge change very soon. Diane and I have been working with a company, a group in Hot Springs that runs Santorini's, which is a Italian Greek restaurant. And then they also run a place called The Goat. Now, Clara Nicolosi, great friend and wonderful sponsor and amazing realtor, or realtor broker, I should say, real estate company runner personery. We texted her one time and we said, look, we're on our way to The Goat in Hot Springs. What's it like? And she said, there is nothing bad on the menu. Now, when Clara says that, yeah, you better pay attention. It's actually as you pull off of Central going into Lowe's, and there's a big, huge water tower back in the back, and there's the kind of a strip mall on both sides, and it's on the right-hand side, just a couple of doors down from Chick-fil-A, so it's easy enough to find. Diana and I found that we actually will go there after a workout. We'll go down to Planet Fitness, go work out, get a little exhausted, maybe have a little bit of shakes and quivers because we're low on protein or carbs or whatever. And we will order the salmon sampler, the salmon platter, which is a little bitty bowl about that size of tzatziki, which is some of the best I've ever had, the same kind we had in Greece. It was just unbelievable. Little pita bread with that, some sauteed vegetables, white rice or brown rice if you wish, and a huge fillet of salmon that is cooked to perfection. And I say all that to tell you, that's the kind of food experience I want to share with us inside people. And no derogatory to anybody from the outside. If you come here, I encourage you to go there. But we'll be approaching a group of people. We've already, like I say, we're in negotiations with the fine folks at the Goat. And we will take a restaurant at a time and we will highlight that restaurant for a month. Okay, so we don't want to wear you out on anything. And I mean, who wants to eat at the same place every time, right? We will do that with the Home Plate Cafe, which is great comfort food just up on Highway 7 beside the baseball diamond. Fantastic. Jason and his guys there, psst, secret. Lean into the computer, lean into the screen. Yeah, they have a bakery too. And it is divine. I mean, divine. I guess, you know, if I was Catholic and I was planning a confession, you get where I'm going here, planning a confession, I'd go to the bakery and have anything I want. That way I could kind of catch up when I get to a confession. The fine folks at Eddie's at Village Hibachi, I call it Eddie's, a lot of people does, Clara does too. That is just frankly some good eating. People say, what's it like? I say, it's like going to Benihana without the show and about a third of the price. Yeah. And even, I know this sounds silly, the Domino's here in town is exceptional. I'm not much on, you know, kind of, pardon the term, prefab pizza, but this is really good. It's a cut above, to say the least. We'll be doing this with Alana's. We were trying to work with them now about getting some dates scheduled and times, but we want to highlight a restaurant every month and give you insiders a feel of where that's going and what you can do. what it would cost you. If I'm not mistaken, Diane and I will typically split a big beer. We'll get the salmon platter, and we'll order a little extra bread, a little extra pita bread with it. We're not big people. I mean, we're not 300-pound people. You know, we're not huge eaters, but we're very reasonable. And we will split that, and we walk out the door for $34 with salmon and tzatziki and pita bread and sauteed vegetables, broccoli and squash, and it's wonderful. It's healthy. It's healthy as it could possibly be. Alana, you know, a lot of people don't know that Alana's, I call it Alana's, it's actually Melinda's restaurant, excuse me, over on Gazy Po. Melinda's actually has a Friday night special, either take out or eat in meal. They make a specially prepared one item. It'll be meatloaf, it'll be pork chops, it'll be beef stroganoff, and it is divine. It is, I mean, a custom chef cooked moment. It doesn't get any better in the village, that's for sure. The Sunset Grill overlooking Lake Balboa. It's easy to think of some of these places that have great amenities. The DeSoto Club, another place that has an amazing amenity, overlooking the golf course, 2 or 3 stories up. It's fantastic. But the food is great too. Did you know they have a luncheon buffet there? Did you know that? Did you know they have a potato bar and a salad bar in case you're not looking for something heavy during the day? This list just goes on and on and on. Eddie has a special, or Eddie, Village Hibachi, has a special that I love, but I can only have so often because it's a little bit on the more fried side. And yeah, my 60 plus digestion does not like it as much, if you know what I mean. But all that to say, we are going to specialize on inside shows that explain to you and I that are here, you know, for example, you're looking at Lake DeSoto behind me right now. Beautiful sunset, magnificent place. I'm so grateful to the Coopers for doing this kind of development. And as we assume, it looks like the Coopers have put nearly $1 billion with a B, tax adjusted or inflation adjusted dollars into this place to build this unbelievable location. That's great. I have people, we rent out units here on this lake. All of our units are on this lake that we rent. And when people come in, they say, oh, we're just about there. We just came in the gates. And they're talking about the east gate on this one. And we're just about there. And I'm like, no, you're about 30 minutes away. No, we just came in the gates. And it says we're only 18 miles or 16 miles away. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to take you half an hour to get here. But it's a gorgeous half hour. We inside people know that. The outside people don't have a clue. And I can spit, you know, statistics all day long. You know, 26,000 acres, 34,000 home sites, 520 miles of roads, the roughly 29 miles of trails, 9 golf courses, 11 lakes. I can go on and on and on, but that doesn't give you the true feeling of what it's like. When Diane is sitting here at our house at the 3-mile marker, and for what it's worth, you come in on the west end. If you come in on the west end, that's the 0-mile marker. And you come to DeSoto Sierra Drive, it's the 3-mile marker. Well, the other end is like 17.8. It's nearly 18 miles to the other end, or 15 more miles. When Diane and I are sitting here and thinking, well, let's go to dinner, we have to kind of think about, wait, do you want to go to the west end or to the middle and go to the Sunset Grill? Have dinner over the lake? Well, we can kind of have dinner over the lake here all the time, right? Or do we want to go to Eddie's? Do we want to go to El Jim's? Do we want to go to El Padrino's? Do we want to go to El Acapulco up on Highway 7? So there's so many great opportunities and great vendors that we just haven't had a chance to shine a light on, as Mr. Randy would say. Now, if you've listened through all this, and I sincerely appreciate it if you have, but if you've listened through all this, now I want to tell you, outside people, what we're going to be talking about. We're going to work hard to do tighter videos, much more clean, crisp, to the point videos. And I don't mean that wrong. And Randy's doing a lot of these already. We're just going to work together on these. For example, what are the pros and cons of Hot Springs Village? Have they changed over the last 3 years? We're coming on 4 years of doing this shows. And I think we're around through show number 360 or something like that. We've talked to a lot of people about a lot of things. And I've got a question for you. I know it's just free-form thought for a moment. Outside people and inside people. Think about somebody in your life and how they have affected you, how they may have changed your life in some way. Roughly 4 years ago, Mr. Randy Cantrell called me and said, I want to talk to you about doing a podcast. We stayed at one of your units one time. Can we talk a little more about that? I probably got to the yes part before I really understood the whole depth of it. At that time, I was doing a project called Village Venues. And that was basically places around the village and what was going on at that time. But I would go down to a friend's studio in Hot Springs, bring some guests in, record for 45 minutes to an hour and 15, and come back and do 6 hours worth of video editing. Not what I had in mind. Still not a video editing guy. That's not what I'm looking for. But for you outside people, what I'm trying to explain is that we want to give you those tight, clean productions that you see on YouTube, where it says top 10 things to do in Hot Springs, top 10 things to do in Benton, top 10 things to do in Dallas or whatever, or top 25 things to do in Dallas. I have a book that thick, about that size, about that thick. It's 500 things to do in Hot Springs before you die. That's not Hot Springs, Georgia. That's not Hot Springs, Idaho. That's Hot Springs, Arkansas. 500 things to do before you die. Alligator Farm, walk the trails, the Rolandos, the ghost tour. That I can go on and on and on. For you, those of you that have never been here, our goal is not necessarily just to get you here, but when you do get here, that it's not just an Instagram moment. You don't show up and go and take a photo and move on down the road. We want you to truly enjoy that moment. And I know how it is. Diane and I will go on a vacation. We work ourselves crazy nuts, and we're getting ready in a couple of weeks. We'll be in Miami, going to get on a boat, the Eastern Caribbean. We've done a lot of other Caribbean tours, but we're going to be in the Eastern Caribbean. We're excited about that. The problem is that we know a list of some things to do, but we don't just stop and sit down and map them all out before we do them. We want to be that information source that helps you map out what you do before you get here to make the most of your time. Most of you that will come or are even dreaming of coming, you want to know what the price of things are. Randy did an exceptional show while I was in Branson this last week, and did an exceptional show about the cost of things, down to the penny. Here's what your water bill goes for. Here's what your trash pickup is. This includes ambulance, blah, 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 blah. If you haven't had a chance to see that, I highly encourage you to watch that show. It gives you a lot of real on-the-ground information, and it's spreadsheet format. It's not, oh, I think it's kind of $55 a month. No, it's exactly information that Randy uses, because for him, moving from a major metropolitan area to here, he has that information in contrast right now, immediately at his hands, at his fingertips. So it's really a great show, and we've got more coming up, I promise you. Hold up your hand. Let us know what you want. Hey, Dennis, we love the Eagle Tour. We love the Lake Ouachita State Park. We love we have one coming up on the Flatside Wilderness area. About 8 miles right back behind me is 250,000 acres of national forest that is completely set aside as wilderness. And people tell me all the time, that is fabulous. I'd love to drive through there. You're not listening. It's wilderness. No roads, no motor cars, not a single luxury. When the sun finishes going down in probably about another 20 minutes or so, this sky will get opaque black. And in another 2 hours, you will see stars you've never seen before if you don't live in the village. I think it's around time for the Magellanic Cloud, if I'm not mistaken, that we'll see on end. And it looks like fog. It's thousands of stars. Events that you just can't have anyplace else. And to the outside people, we welcome you so much. The last thing we want is a gotcha. That's why Randy does the price stories and tells the prices of things. That's why we try to explain frankly the in-depthness and the complexity of living in the world's largest gated community. It doesn't just fall off the end of a stick. It's not like moving to the end of a cul-de-sac in your home. It's different. It's a private organization. It's a private corporation. It's a lot of things. And we want to get you used to that, because as Randy says, if you get here, you may not leave, and you can see why. My friends, behind me is the other side of Lake DeSoto. Right over my shoulder, right there, is a place they call Angel Island, is what the sign says. A lot of locals call it Gilligan's Island, so be careful. You don't want to get stranded. I don't really know what else to say. I will tell you that we welcome you all. We welcome your input. We want to know what you want to do on the inside. We want to know what the outside questions are. Randy has a big list of those we're processing now and getting ready to make a production list of shows that we're going to make based on those questions outside. You inside people, I'm talking to you, Stephen. I'm talking to you, Ken Gazelle. I'm talking to you about a half a dozen other people that literally watch this show within 30 minutes of when it's released at midnight or 1 a.m. most days, and give us excellent feedback. We want more feedback from you. We want to hear if the audio's working well, if the lighting's okay, if the picture, if the whatever. But all of that to say, we welcome your input. One last thing I want to say. Thank you, Clara Nicolosi. Thank you, Remax Rentals. Thank you, Remax Real Estate. Thank you, Ike Eisenhower. Thank you, State Farm. And thank you, KVRE. For Dennis Simpson and Hot Springs Village Inside Out, we thank you for listening and watching, and we will see you next time, maybe even on the shores of Lake DeSoto.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.